Bortle here. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Hello, Bortle Nation. We have Trickstars returning to the channel in 2023. Man, that is just insane. How can it compete with today's meta? And funny thing is, on the way to the event, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get beat by this certain deck because I have like no main deck outs. But anyway, I ended up losing to that deck twice in the event. Before we jump into the deck profile, I would like to do a couple shout outs. Hear me out. First off, man, shout out to Into the AM because this gear is just ridiculous. Which you can use Bortle 10 to save 10% off your entire order. All that information is down in the description down below, guys. Shout out to tsx1.com. because their sleeves are pretty nice. We were able to give out a few packs in the event. You can also use Bortle 10 to save 10% off your entire order. And ultimately, shout out to trollandtoad.com, where you can save up to 5% off your entire trollandtoad.com order by using Team Bortle 5. With all that information, and there's even more in the description down below to support the channel directly, to keep sending us out to all these regionals, YESSSS. Oh, where my man? Or shout out to Cam the Man Neil, everyone in DFW, and Game Guys LLC for hosting the regional. It was pretty nice. Obviously, guys, shout out to you, Bortle Nation. Oh god, yes. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this deck profile. Alright, so right here, guys, I am playing a triple Candina. Weird, I know, right? So yeah, obviously we were gonna maximize on our starters. Why did I play Trickstars in this event? Why didn't I stick with Trap Tricks or play some other deck that's decent? Well, I already earned my invite not once but twice, maybe 3 times by now. I lost count. I wanted to play a fun deck, and what was more fun than Trickstars? I kind of had this certain list in my mind throughout the week, but then Friday of, I kind of scrambled this list together. I made some changes in my mind already. I made some changes on the way there, and I'll go ahead and speak about some of these changes. But anyway, you cannot say no to triple Candina. That's your starter. And I'm only playing 2 Lycurus because ultimately this is a brick unless you have Candina in your hand as well. Trickstar Carbane, for those that don't know, this can either be an extender if you control all Trickstar monsters, or you can treat it as a Kalute. Gives your monster the original attack doubled, so it turns Candina into a 3600 beat stick. Originally I was going to use 2, but there was really no room, and I wanted to make this deck perfect 40. Spoilers, it's a perfect 40. Oh god, yes. And next I'm playing 1 Lilybell. Probably could have been cut altogether. I think for the grindier games, that was my mentalization on Lilybell. I wanted to, like, you know, just kind of like reoccur Lycurus, you know, reoccur Candina. Rolling Lock, the best hand trap of the deck. Only once, maybe twice. Midway, I would, funny enough, do Rolling Lock combo on people, but I was only hitting like 1 or 2 cards, you know. But if anything, I was benefiting more of the draw because they probably would have came back with that search, you know, and continuing to search. So Droll was just a really strong hand trap. Obviously, guys, the decks I lost to were 2 same decks. Pearly. Droll is very, very, very minimal at best against Pearly. On the way there, I told myself, man, you know what? I don't really have main deck out to Pearly deck. Funny enough, that's the deck I faced a couple times, and those are the decks that beat me. And throughout the day, I was facing, you know, Unchained, Rescue Ace, Manadium, the popular decks out there, and some rogue decks. I even faced a Trap Tricks deck, and it was so unfortunately I had to 2-0 that deck, but much respect to Trap Tricks. I love that deck. It's just I kind of knew what to do, what to avoid, and I was able to just cook it up real quick. I only went into time once throughout the entire event, and let's just keep going with hand trap, guys. Triple Effect Veiler and Triple Ash Blossom. These were the monster effect hand traps of the deck. There's a lot of hand traps in this deck, and these were ultimately the best ones for the deck. I chose Veiler over Nibiru in the main because I wanted to hit all types of decks. And that meant like Flunderee's cool thing. I faced Flunders, and it was probably one of the swiftest 2-0s all day. Anyway, let's talk about Kashtira Finrare. The cool thing is, I would play mind games with my opponent. If my hand was kind of a brick, I would special Finrare, ASAP do the effect just to get their draw out the way. they'll drop droll, man. I was hitting drolls with this left and right, and I'm like, okay, cool. I had nothing else to do, buddy. But if you suspect a droll, you want to wait on that Fenrir search, because Fenrir ultimately in this build doesn't really do anything versus the one copy that's on the field. So Fenrir was just MVP, eating up all the drolls. I loved it. And next, our spells. Obviously, we're maximizing on Trickstar Light Stage. Probably the best field spell for this deck. Well, you can argue that it's 4 copies. We're playing Terraforming. Light Stage is crazy. Remember when you replace Light Stage for Light Stage on the field, it turns off the frozen card in the back. And that kind of made one of my games a little tricky, because I had a imperm negated with Light Stage, but when I flipped the new Light Stage, they were able to change the imperm and hitting my Fenrir, so I had to make... I think I had to do a Typhoon play just to Unchain Abomination. That's what it was. Man, it was ridiculous. I got kind of greedy there, but I was trying to close the game. So you got to do what you got to do. This was a huge one right here. I was going to play Extravagance, and last second I changed to Prosperity, because I was like, you know what? I want to kind of do Droll Unlock Reincarnation combo throughout the whole day. Let's just do Prosperity so I can start, digging 6 cards deep versus drawing 2. The main reason why I want to play Extravagance over Prosperity was probably this card right here. Super Polymerization, because I wanted to, draw phase or standby phase, super poly, suck up stuff, and then do Extravagance, because I could care less about my extra deck after I use the super poly that I would open. I said, you know what, let's just throw these in, because last second they were going to be 2 Nibiru's, but super poly was just way too strong, and it breaks boards, so you gotta be able to win going first or second. So I needed some going second cards in. Hint traps are nice, but you can't stop off board. So Super Poly was really good. And I'm playing Prosperity too, so it gets me to dig in there for that. One Call by the Grave. It's a 1-of. Weird. Did it come up? I don't think it did, but hey man, you gotta see it, right? It's a 1-of. Triple Tactics Talent and Triple Tactics Thrust. Just 1 copy of each. Shout out to Can the Man Neil. These are his ratios. And I did use talents on someone. Unfortunately, it was right after Prosperity, so I couldn't do the draw 2. But I was able to look at my opponent's hand and rip a card. More 1-ofs. Harpy's Feather Duster. Once they saw I was playing Trickstar, they were setting stuff, making me freeze random cards that did nothing with Light Stage. And it would backfire sometimes, because I'll Duster them out of nowhere. So shout out to Harpy's Feather Duster. And it's going to hit those annoying Floodgate decks that you may not have a main deck out, so that's why there's Duster, and we have Thrust to get into Duster. I did utilize Trickstars for locals, I want to say last year, maybe the year before, during COVID, I think. Anyway, this is pretty much a throwback. I'm utilizing Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion, right? And older Trickstar variants, they were playing, I think, just instant fusions for the, they would make Pallades, combo off with Carbane. So that was basically it, guys. I was summoning Baron with, or Baron with Carbane with either instant fusion or ready fusion. I'll show you the targets in a second. But ultimately, space was really tight, so I just wanted to run 1 of each, because they're both, once per turn. Here are some traps. Weird, more hand traps. So this deck played 12 hand traps. I love the ratio. I was seeing at least 1, sometimes 2 hand traps every opening hand, and that's how you survive with this deck. You just literally gotta stun your opponent, hit the best cards. Unfortunately, it gets Pearly, man. You're thinking, okay, there's no way this guy has the Black Kitty. Oh, he had the Black Kitty, and then that's game, pretty much. So I love the hand traps. It was really fun. Hits almost every deck, right? 3 copies of Reincarnation. Yeah, again, I only Droll Reincarnation comboed maybe up to 4 times, but blowout game 1s, it happened at least once, maybe twice. So that was it. I might have just had bad luck against Pearly, but again, not really any main deck options here, especially with them activating their quick plays, in the draw phase to play around Droll. So that's really tough. So that was that. Let's go ahead and jump into the extra deck real quick. Instant Fusion target, Restrict right here, 1000 Ice Restrict. Oh, and weird, I need to do one more important shout out, almost forgot. Yo, shout out to this playmat. This is our final OG Team Bortle playmat, 2-player playmat run forever. when this style is gone, or when that is it. This was the last of our meta mats collab. This is it. The final one, guys. Once this is gone, this is it. And there's only 10 in existence, guys. And you can get one of yours today by hitting us up at Team Bortle. That's right. Instagram, Discord, Twitter, Facebook. Just message us, guys. Grab yourself a mat, and we'll throw in a shirt as well for free with it. So yeah, this match is sick. It's blue on blue. Hey, Christmas is around the corner, so grab yourself a gift for yourself or a homie today. Only 10 exist. All right, now on with the rest of the deck profile. Now we're playing Giltea, which is arguably an instant fusion and ready fusion target. There was an awkward game where I was just bricking. I drew into ready fusion and instant fusion, so I was able to make a Baron with 2 cards. So it wasn't good, but for that game, it was amazing because I was able to steal that game, making a Baron with these 2 cards. So this is another Ready Fusion target, but you can use Instant Fusion on all of these, but Ready Fusion can only be used on non-effect monsters, so remember that. And next, some more Super Poly targets. Garura, Mud Dragon, Instant Fusion, or Super Poly. You have to run it. And we're playing Guilty, Gearfried, and Dragon Knight Equest. These did not come up because fortunately I was able to stun my Manidium opponent before he was able to summon one of these big crazy monsters. But Garuro came up countless times. Let's go with some links. Trickstar Holy Angel. It's not a good card, but if you were able to Trickstar Reincarnation and Droll combo your opponent, this allows you to finish the game off, especially if you did Candina to get that far and you have a Lycurus, because you can just go link it to this bad boy and you should have either 1 or 2 reincarnations in the grave just to OTK your opponent. And we were playing SP Little Knight. This card came up several times, and it almost came up one of my game 3s, but unfortunately, I only had a Ready Fusion, so I could not make the SP Little Knight. It sucked. If it was an Instant Fusion instead, I would be able to make it. So this card is just great, guys. Playing Phoenix and Unicorn, pretty much staples, you know. Got to pop back row and spin something. The only things that really came up all day were the fusions. I made Holy Angel a couple times and SP Little Knight at least once, so yeah. And Baron, I made it, man. I made this thing at least 5 or 6 times throughout the whole tournament. 9 rounds of Swiss, guys, over 360 players. We finished with 7 wins and 2 losses, guys. So yeah, Baron did some work. Oh man, shout out to my rarity. Oh god, yeah. And there's the Pleiades. Pleiades never came up, but I wanted that option there in case I want to do some old combos where I can bounce my light stage and continue to bring monsters on the board, or just a plus. But yeah, it just never came up because when this would come up, I would rather summon a Baron instead. I just love the option to do so if I had to. Plus it's a light. In case your opponent was nice enough to goes and match you, you can still play. Typhoon and Zeus. Those are my last cards. Typhoon did work. And I'm telling you, it did work. I had an opponent that ended with a Baron and an SP Little Knight. I summoned Candina. No effect. No effect. Quote me. Zero effect though. Alright? Slap Typhoon on that. Attack into the SP Little Knight. Spin the Baron. Peace. Zeus did not come in, but obviously I had the thrust in case I was lucky enough to steal an XYZ and drop Zeus on top of it, or slap it later on a Typhoon or a Pleiades, I guess. It's kind of weird, but yeah, that's it for the extra deck. All right, our side deck, guys, I played Triple Shifter because this can still be a blowout for tier elements and certain other specific matchups. I did side this in against Pearly several times, and I did see it, and it kind of stunned, but unfortunately in that game I bricked. I had no engine, so I was only able to stun for like a turn with Shifter. If I would have only had a Candina, any type of engine, I would have had a lot better like chance of winning. Anyway, Nibiru. So I wasn't maining it, I was siding it. This did work. It was great against my Enchain matchup. And a random Pankratops. Just the one copy of Pankratops. I don't know, I was feeling kind of froggy, so I wanted some more and go second cards. And someone said a pink against me, and man, that pink did some work. I would argue I lost to a single pink, so hey man, it's that one for a reason, right? You. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Next, here are my one-ups. I've only played one Lightning Storm because I'm playing the Thrust, one Change of Heart, Thrust, and obviously if I have a Light Station on the field, I can't activate, another Lightning Storm, so that's why I, did the one-ups. And then the third copy of Super Poly, I would side this in a bunch of times if I knew, going second, trying to break some boards. I played 3 copies of Trap Trick. Basically, guys, I wanted 6 copies of Reincarnation. What are the best targets out there for Trap Trick? And ultimately, I did D-Barrier. Hey, if there's a better target, comment down below, guys. Let me know. So I did D-Barrier. I cited basically all five of these cards for my Pearly matchups. I was able to D-Barrier my Pearly stunning a turn, but again, my hand was a brick. I couldn't go on from there. So, geez, Trickstars, shout out to you, because, oh, man, it happened a lot. So, yeah, guys, that's it. That's the deck profile. So, if I didn't answer any questions throughout the video, comment down below. I'd love to respond to your comments, guys. I'll see it, man. And again, if you want to pick up this Team Bortle mat, the last of, this is it. No more of this variation, guys. This is it. Only 10 copies are made. Hit me up via at Team Bortle. And new viewers, thank you so much for being a part of Bortle Nation. How did you join? By subscribing to the channel. Of course, it's that easy and free. Oh God, yes. Until next time, everyone. Happy holidays. See you soon. Bortle out.